Okay, hello y'all, my name is Maddie and today I will be teaching y'all how to make garlic Parmesan herb bread. So for your ingredients, you will need a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of warm water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of instant dry yeast, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of dried basil, 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary, 6 cloves of garlic finely chopped, 2 to 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese, a tablespoon of butter, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I have already got all my measurements and ingredients together, prepped them already, so we're just gonna go jump right in. In our 1 cup of water, you are going to combine your yeast and 1 teaspoon of your salt. And you're gonna give that a good mix. And since it's instant dry yeast, you're gonna let it sit for about 1 to 5 minutes until it gets foamy, like kind of like a volcano type of thing. And then that's when you know that the yeast is activated, and then you can start combining all your other ingredients. I said like a volcano. You're gonna take your salt and your herbs and your garlic mixture, that's what this is, and you're just gonna add it in there. Once that is in there, we're gonna give that a good little mix, combine all of those ingredients together. So it should look like that. And once you feel like that is combined pretty well, that's when we're going to add our cheese and our flour. So I'm adding a little bit more cheese to the ingredients say, but I don't think you should do that. I think you should follow the ingredients. So first, we're gonna add about 2 cups of flour. So this is a 1/2 cup. And I'm gonna add 1 more. So that's about 1 cup of flour. We're gonna give that a good stir. You can see it's already starting to become a little doughy. And then I'm gonna add another cup of flour because that was only 1. Give that a good stir. And then once we're about here, I'm gonna add our cheese. Give that a good stir. Make sure that's all stirred in there. And at this point, I guess if you wanted to, you can start using your hands. But that's just too sticky and messy for me. But you know what? That's kind of the whole point of this, and it's bread, so. Just want to make sure everything is mixed well together. If you need to add more flour at this point, like I think I'm gonna add a little bit more flour. It's a little sticky. And you're just gonna keep mixing this until you get a dough. So I'll be back. Once you have your sticky dough, take some olive oil. Not a lot, but you can drizzle some on the bowl like You're gonna drizzle it on the bowl like that. My hands are washed, so I'm just gonna kind of rub it everywhere a little bit. Like that. You want olive oil pretty much all around the bowl. Then you're going to take your dough, pop it in there, and then once that dough is placed in there, you're gonna cover it with a towel, and you're gonna let that sit on your countertop for about an hour. Let the dough rise. It's gonna double in size, and then we'll come back. So once your dough has risen like this, you are going to preheat your oven to 375 degrees, and then we are going to grease a baking sheet with olive oil. It's a lot of olive oil, like so. And then we are going to gently punch down the dough. This actually looks really good. And then we are going to divide the dough into 2 balls, if I can do that, and make them into little rounds. Like so. And then we're going to cover it loosely with the towel again and let them rise for an additional 15 to 20 minutes. And then I'll be back. Once you've let your bread rise again, you are going to melt some butter and just add some on top. It sets a brush, but I don't own a baking brush. I don't bake, so I'm just gonna put it on top, and then we're gonna put it in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes until a golden brown, or until you see fit. And then after that, we'll take it out, let it cool, and then cut and eat. Should look like this. Put it in the oven, and I'll be back. This is the bread straight out the oven after about 22 minutes. Now we're going to let it cool off. I'm gonna cut it, and then you can eat it.